Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. I am Robin Shaw, Canadian teacher, and I am here with my hero, Stefan, who's come to visit me in Korea. And I've known you for 5 years.
Yes.
5 years I've known Stefan, and we're very good friends, but he is my hero, and you're going to find out why he's my hero today, because he's very special. If you have any questions for Stefan, start preparing your questions. Remember, he is deaf, but he does hear some sound, and I'm going to communicate with him today. He's very good at reading lips. All right, I'm just going to say hello to the people who have come, and I can see Hamza, welcome. Tara, how are you? I'm fine. Lolly's here. Layla, nice to see you. Sajad, Carrie, Rohan, Henry, and we have a Sleepwalker. I'm sure you have a lot of questions, Sleepwalker. You usually do. And Ajit Kumar from India. And Grace. Hopefully, Grace, because you live in Korea, you can meet Stefan soon. Tom is here.
Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Billy. Okay, hello, Billy. And Kang Yujin, Casio, Nevsi, Tika, Andre. Lots of people coming in today. Hassan, Mohsen, Syed, Jessica. And all right, so this is Stefan. Now, I said he was deaf, so as a deaf person, he's very special because if you are you were born deaf.
I was. Yes.
Yeah, he was born deaf, so he had to learn English. So if you can't hear, how can you learn English? So I'm going to ask him the first question today. How did you learn English?
Well, like Robin said, I cannot hear, so I cannot pick up English that way. So I started learning through sign language first.
All right, wait. So he can't hear, so he started learning through sign language. And you can hear him speaking now. He's deaf, he cannot hear, so he had to learn to speak also. So continue.
So I was taught English with the hands, so I learned English in a visual way.
All right, so he learned English with his hands. He learned English only a visual way. All right.
And also, my whole family can hear, so I was quite isolated. So I spent a lot of time alone in my bedroom, reading and reading.
All right,
So,
hold on. So again, it might be a little difficult to hear his pronunciation. It might be difficult for you to hear my pronunciation. So his family could hear. He could not hear, so he felt isolated, very isolated. So he had to read, and he said he read and read. How much did you read?
pretty much every day.
Every day.
Yeah,
All right.
I had many books.
Many books. So as you guys know, I'm always pushing you to read. That's how you can learn English vocabulary, grammar. Read. This is how Stefan learned to read. And which country? Which country are you from?
I'm from Ireland.
Ireland. All right. So he's from Ireland. But of course, he does not talk with an Irish accent. He talks.
The reason for that is I had many years of speech therapy. I'm a speech therapist in English. So if I add an accent, it will be an accent that I pick up.
All right. So He had to have a speech therapist, someone to teach him to talk without hearing, and that's one reason he's my hero. So his speech therapist was not Irish. So the person who spoke him to taught him. Maybe I need to be taught how to speak. The person who taught Stefan to speak was not Irish. That's maybe why he doesn't have an Irish accent. All right, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check the questions here. We're gonna go back. I know you guys are asking questions. All right, so Carrie says, "Hi Stefan, nice to see you on the live stream. My question is, where did you meet Robin? Where did we meet?"
Like Robinson, we met 5 years ago. I was traveling alone in Asia, and one of the countries I went to was North Korea. I went on a tour there,
All right.
and Robin happened to be on the same tour.
All right. So, yeah, we met in North Korea on the same tour. In 2014, I traveled for a few weeks in North Korea, and he was traveling alone. Nobody's helping him. He's traveling alone to North Korea, and we met in North Korea, and we became friends. How many countries have you traveled?
Um, I've been to about 90 territories altogether.
90. He's been to 90 countries. So he's traveled around the world more than me and probably more than most of you. It's quite amazing. All right, let's check another question. If you guys got any questions, so Kang Yujin, he can't read Korean, but nice to see you. Hello, hello, lots of people. Grace, how's it going? That's your best question. It's going well. Do you live in South Korea?
My friend Robin lives in South Korea. I don't. Right now, I'm visiting him, or rather, annoying him.
Annoying me.
Very
So yeah, he's come to visit me. I said to him last month, Stephen, I really really miss you. Come visit me in North Korea, or not North Korea, South Korea. All right, all right. Robin, why is Stefan your hero? Uh, because although he is deaf, he's able to travel around the world. He's very independent. He uh, he uh, he grew up in a very difficult, environment. You grew up. Which country did you grow up in? Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. He grew up in Northern Ireland, and his family, of course. Your family supportive, not supportive.
Um, they're wanting to help me, but in a way, the help would not work for me because they do not understand my deafness.
All right. So the family didn't really understand his deafness. They couldn't give proper support. Anyway, he had difficult time, but he didn't let that stop him. Right. He just he learned English. He learned how to speak English. He learned how to read lips. You can see now we're not writing. He is deaf. He is just watching my lips.
Yes, when we first met, we were always writing things down on paper. We never expected that we would become friends, so we had to get used to speaking to each other, which we are doing now.
Yeah. So yeah, he's right. When we first met, always writing, but now we don't write. All right.
Look at what Lena wrote. Hi Lena, thank you for your comments.
He says hi, Layla. He acknowledges. And Thomas, I like Stefan's pronunciation more. Thank you.
Tom, what do you mean by more? Do you like it better than?
Yeah, Tom is teasing me. Nev C Academy, is he self-taught?
Self-taught in terms of,
I guess speaking,
well,
reading lips.
I want to a step through. So a through where steps to run. So they have a lot of therapy around where they live speaking,
All right, so
listening.
he went to the deaf school. All right, so yeah, they had a lot of help uh, growing up. Let's see. And Temos, I don't understand the question. And mine, hey, can I get an accent? Give me some clues. What kind of accent do you want? And Layla, how long have you known each other? 5 years. Aman, hello. And Carrie asks, how much can Stefan hear?
Hi, Carrie. I don't know if you can see on the video. I'm wearing earrings.
All right,
I
he's
think I
wearing
want to show you.
hearing aids. He's so
So, with them, I can hear most things, but without them, I hear nothing.
so you said you can hear most things. Can you hear music?
I can't hear music, but I cannot tell whether the music is good or crap.
Good or crap? He cannot tell if the music is good or crap. And if if I cover my mouth, can you understand me?
I can hear you, but I won't understand you.
All right, so he can hear, but he can't understand.
So that's why we cannot talk on the telephone.
Yeah, he cannot do telephone English. Do you live in Ireland anymore? From Lolly Lolly.
No, now I live in England.
All right, he lives in England. And Yunji, your passion is out of this world. And Sleepwalker, nice to meet you, Stefan.
Nice to meet you.
Wow, brave man. And Grace. Oh, I have also a deaf friend. She reads my lips too. All right.
Most people have never met a deaf person, so I'm glad to hear you have a deaf friend. Don't shy away from deaf people. They can be lovely people. Go up to them, make friends with them.
They can be lovely people. And Layla, where do you live now, Stefan?
I live in England.
All right. Courageous lollyman. Okay. Does Stefan speak any other language? You speak English. Do you speak another language?
Yes, well, we talked earlier about sign language, so that another language I speak, but also when I was about 13, 14, I taught myself French,
French?
but I cannot speak or listen in French. I can only write in French, and that's because I've never had practice with voice only writing.
So yeah, he learned French. He can write. You can read
Yes.
French. He can read French, but nobody helped him to practice speaking French. What about German, Spanish?
Spanish. I can speak Spanish reasonably well, and that's because I once traveling around Latin America for 7 months altogether. At the start, I knew nothing about Spanish, and by the end of it, I picked up so much.
All right, so he can speak Spanish. All right, Jessica. Wow, you're a lucky person, Mr. Stefan. And Nevsy, does he read text? Can he read looking at someone's mouth? Can you ask him how he makes sense or how he process info without hearing? He reads text. He reads the mouth. How can you understand me right now?
It's a difficult question to answer because it feels natural to me. I take it for granted, so I don't know the process in the brain how it works.
He doesn't know how. Can you read my lips here?
Yes, I can see you in the video.
He can read my lips off the video. Is it your first time to visit Korea?
This is actually my second time after my trip in North Korea. When Robin told me he lived in the south, he told me to go and stay with him. So I said then, this is my second time.
Second time, yeah. He stayed with me before, and I went to stay with him in England. I stayed one night.
Yeah, one night.
One night with him in England. I hope to stay longer in the future. Abdullah Hussein, with the technological advancement, anything to help with hearing nowadays?
Well, I showed you my hearing aids.
His hearing aids?
Yeah, they help me a lot, and they can be very useful. There is also an operation where they can put an implant into the head.
All right, hold on. He said there's an operation, so they can do surgery to put an implant into the brain to help hearing, but he doesn't want to do that.
With that. If I have that operation, I will be hearing in a different way, and that means I will have to learn how to speak all of it again. So
yeah,
I'm too old for that.
He doesn't want that implant because it might change his hearing. And if his hearing changes, he might have to learn to speak again. And he doesn't want to learn again. All right. Thomas, please keep annoying Robin. Okay. Layla, what was your major at university?
In England, we don't have majors and minors. We only do one subject, and I did physics.
Physics.
Yeah, I cannot pronounce it. Physics.
Physics. So he studied physics for 4 years?
5 years.
5 years he studied physics. Vincenzo, we're not doing any English questions right now. We'll do English Q&A another day. Sleepwalker, Stefan, are you an owl? You should say a night owl. Are you a night owl or an early bird? Question mark.
I like to stay up late. One of my favorite pastimes is going to the pubs looking for different beers to try, and that means you have to stay up late.
All right, so he said one of my favorite pastimes is going to the pubs to drink different beers. He likes to drink beer. I don't like beer so much, but he stays up late a lot to drink beer. Ajit, who's hero of Stefan?
I'm sorry, Robin. I cannot say it here. I'm very sorry. Let me think about that artist, and I'll come back to you.
All right, he'll think about it and come back. Have you, Najumuddin, have you visited India? India?
Yes, I've been to India 2 times. The first time I explored the western coast.
Western coast?
The south.
The
and the
south,
eastern coast,
eastern coast.
and then Delhi.
Delhi.
The second term, I went to Assam and Manipur, which is in the northeast.
All right. And how much time did you spend in India total?
Altogether, I think a month.
About a month. And if you're interested, I also went to India. And Nevsy, how can he make sense? How can he make sense of information without hearing?
If the information is in print, I can understand it. I use my eyes without my ear. I don't really miss a lot anywhere.
Yeah, I'm a little. I have hay fever, itchy, allergy.
Yeah,
So it looks like I'm drunk or crying, but I'm just allergies. Uh, so yeah, it's Nevsy. I see you're very curious. I am too. I'm always asking him questions. I'm amazed. He without his hearing aids, he hears zero, nothing. With his hearing aids, he hears noise, but he cannot distinguish words very well. He has to see the mouth, and I guess years of practice.
yes, 14 years.
14 years?
14.
Yeah, 14 years of practice. He can do it.
There is one quick day about hearing nothing without my ear aids, and that means nothing can wake me up when I'm in bed.
Yeah, he said there's one good thing. Nothing wakes him up when he's sleeping. He doesn't hear any noise. Anyway, guys, like, he learned English. You guys can hear. You have no excuse not to learn English. Sleepwalker says, Stefan, we know Robin as a teacher, so can you describe Robin as your friend?
The first thing I want to say about Robin is that he is very, very kind because he doesn't know me in North Korea, but he said, come and stay with me. And again, here I am in his home. He's very welcoming.
Very welcoming, kind. I hope you guys heard that. I'm from Somalia. Do you know Somalia, Hassan?
Hello, Hassan. Of course, we know Somalia. I have not been there, but I would love to go there sometime. I know the north part of Somalia, Somaliland, had a lot of interesting places, so I hope to go there in the future.
Layla, if a person was born, which language do they think in? Which language do you think in?
I am bilingual, so
Bilingual.
I think in both English and sign language.
So, okay.
I can clarify that. If I'm thinking about something I want to say to Robin tomorrow, I will be thinking in English. But if I'm thinking about going back home to tell my step friends about my holiday here, I'll probably be imagining it in sign language.
All right. So he considers himself bilingual. He speaks in English. When he's thinking about me, he thinks in English. And his other language, sign language. Now remember, sign language in English is not the same. It's very similar, but it's not the same language.
Not similar, very different.
Very different. So when he's thinking about his friends, talking to his friends, he thinks in sign language.
Yes.
All right. Wow, that's I cannot understand that.
I have had streams in sign language.
So talking to
Yeah, streams.
dreams in sign language. So I can't imagine dreams in sign language. All right. Harry, hi, Stefan. Have you ever been to Indonesia?
No, unfortunately, but Indonesia.
I've been there.
Indonesia is another place I really want to go to. There's a very famous place called Borobudur that
Bobadil?
I really want to go there.
Okay. Harry, I've been there one time. I went to Jakarta and Bali. All right, Grace says, please join WhatsApp group or Kakao group. Maybe Grace will see. Manu, hello. And join the Rums group. Aman Khan, we will see. Lolly Lolly, ask Stefan, what's your job?
Um, Nori, hi. My job is in a support role for deaf people who are
All right, hold on. He works in the support role for deaf people.
in university and in employment. So they need help with translation, so I work alongside them with their work.
So he's working with translation. Uh, I learned from Stefan that a lot of deaf people are not very good at mastering English. So Stefan's very special because he, as he said, is bilingual. He's fluent in sign language and in English. So he helps other deaf people at the university level to translate sign language into English. And Grace says, if we meet, can you read my lips too?
Yes, I can live with everybody. Now, whether I understand everybody is another matter. Some people speak very clearly, other people might speak, really badly,
Yeah.
and I can't understand.
When I speak to him, I try to make sure I'm moving my mouth to the proper shape. When I say hello, okay, I don't say hello. I say hello. I'm making sure. So if you do that, he will understand you. And I have a funny story. When I was visiting him in England, we went to the restaurant to eat some breakfast, and the waitress at the restaurant in England was saying something to me. I could not understand her pronunciation, her accent in England. I couldn't understand her. I just couldn't understand her. Stefan had to translate English into English for me. So he could read her lips and he could read my lips. So we needed him. Although both of us are native speakers, we could not understand each other's pronunciation, but he could read both of our lips. Layla. Oh, wait. Do you have difficulty to read Korean? Oh, no. Again, he can read anybody in the world. And he's traveled a lot. He has a lot of experience talking to, hundreds of people around the world. What goes through deaf people's minds while they read?
Okay, that's a very quick question, Layla. Um, that people normally only know sign language fluently, so anything else you get second language, and you probably know that in your second language you are not going to be as good, so you're reading something that's not your language. It can be difficult, so they do a lot of processing what they are reading.
So what? Okay, so he's saying there's a lot of processing. What is that processing?
Pardon.
Like that? What do you mean processing?
Now, they can recognize words on their own, but in a sentence, they're not sure what it means. They have to think about it.
So what about these days? I see you reading BBC News.
Yeah,
Uh, is there a lot of? Is it difficult?
well, if people are just having normal conversations on TV and the deaf person looking at the subtitles, then no, not that difficult. But if you give them a book, then
We're talking about you.
mm,
You. Is it difficult?
not difficult for me now.
No. Okay. So, yeah, I think you have to understand that Stefan is different than I guess, the average deaf person. His reading level is very high, and his writing level is very high, and his speaking level is very high compared to other deaf people. But yeah, he says when usual deaf people are reading, there's a lot of processing. It's not so easy. Ajit Kumar, what thing inspire you?
Um, well, my travels inspire me to travel more as they traveling is the best experience that you can have.
Traveling. All right, Tika's gone. Oh my God. So Lolly Lolly, what Lolly Lolly asks, what kind of music do you listen to?
Well, I don't listen to music, but I mean actively, so I don't look for music. But if I go to a bar and they have music in the background, I can hear it, but I cannot enjoy it.
So yeah, he doesn't listen to music as a hobby or for entertainment, but when he goes to the bar, he can hear music, but he really doesn't know if it's good music, bad music. It's just kind of a noise. And Kang Yujin, what is a famous or recommend food in Ireland?
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Koreans love sweet potato. In Korea, they love sweet potato. France, hello. So, Aman Khan, in my society, two boys are deaf. The one is speaking like Stefan or using the same device before, but the other only do the sign language. Yeah.
Haman, you write a very good pun. Most people think that all deaf people are the same, but they can be very different. Some people can be like me, but a lot of other deaf people will not be able to communicate in the way that I do, so they only use sign language.
Yeah, so everyone is different. Nevsi, can you teach a subject you are good at if you choose to do so?
Simple answer, yes.
Nevsi and everyone, you have to understand that Stefan can do anything, but listen to music. Stefan, are you keen on any sport?
Um, I enjoy individual sports like running, cycling, mountain biking, swimming. I don't like team sports.
Team sports. He doesn't like sports. Why not?
Hmm.
Why not? Why not team sports?
I'm not a team player.
I'm not a team player. Thomas, where are you traveling to next after Korea?
Um, I talked to Robin the other day about maybe last month Saudi Arabia opened up to tourism for the first time. So I said to Robin, why don't we go to Saudi Arabia?
Layla's from Saudi Arabia, so yeah,
Lena, we can come and see you.
yeah, Saudi Arabia opened up for tourism this year, so we kind of were making a plan. Maybe we go there with Tom. He loves Saudi Arabia. Grace, can you show us "I love you" in sign language?
I love you. Yes.
It is okay. I love you, but Grace, be careful because Every country's sign language is different. Korean Sign Language, UK Sign Language, very different. UK Sign Language, or actually England Sign Language, USA Sign Language, very different.
Yeah, but that's an international.
All right.
So for I love you, that the universal sign. Everybody knows that one.
Everyone knows that one. And Layla, how do born deaf people learn to pronounce words or adjust sound volume in case they speak? Well, for sound volume, Stefan, he speaks usually at a little bit louder volume. He cannot whisper. If I come up, hello, he cannot whisper. He's always at the similar volume. Uh, so how do you learn to pronounce words?
I mentioned earlier about speech therapy.
Speech therapy.
So I have someone teaching me how to speak.
He has someone teaching him how to speak. Doesn't that take a long time?
Yes, it took me 14 years to get to this point.
14 years. Grace says, if you do a video chat, can you talk on the phone?
If the video is very clear, then yes, there's no reason why I can't lip read on the phone, so it's something I could do.
Lutfi, hello, Lutfi. All right. Lolly Lolly's speaking French, enchante. Devika, hi sir, I'm from Sri Lanka. Well, Devika, we traveled together to Sri Lanka.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, we met and we traveled to Sri Lanka and Maldives. So, Devika, we were in your country and we will go back one day.
Lovely country.
Jessica, only one night in England together. Well, I stayed in England 1 month, but only with Stefan at Stefan's house. And Layla, how do you teach adjectives or intangible words such as where? Uh, I, 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 well, Layla, if I'm teaching that to kids, it's very easy because kids can learn that very fast. And that's usually basic English, and sometimes basic English is taught by your own local people, your own local teachers, and they sometimes, like where, they will tell the students what where means in their own language. I think that's how most people learn where. They know it in their own language. For deaf people, well, they're going to have their sign language for where. I think where is universally everyone in the world, whatever language, has to learn that, and they do learn that quickly. Carrie, what kind of book did you read to learn English? Harry Potter?
I'm a bit too old for Harry Potter in terms of learning English, but let me tell you, when I taught myself French, I was using the French translation of Harry Potter, so I can recommend reading the translation of Harry Potter if you want to learn that language. So if you want to learn English, then read Harry Potter.
Learn Harry Potter. Nevsy, so we have a physicist here. All right, France, what about the deaf? You want to explain? Deaf equals somebody does not hear English. He can write, but does not understand nothing when a native speaker with him. Well, I think deaf just means deaf or hard of hearing. Just, yeah, some problem with their ear. They're still normal people. They're still intelligent people. Just they have difficulty hearing. They can still read. They can still understand English or any other language. So when we say a deaf person, usually cannot cannot understand. Yeah, are you deaf?
Hmm.
Are you deaf?
I'm deaf, yes.
But you can understand.
But remember, when I take out my ears, I hear nothing.
Yeah.
That is definition of deafness.
But you have your aids in now,
Yeah.
so you're hard of hearing.
We can quibble about
Uh,
terminology, well, yeah, but I'm deaf.
without his aids, he cannot hear anything. He's deaf. Cannot so deaf, someone who cannot hear.
Actually, I want to say one more thing about it. Some people are worried about using the word deaf. They think it's offensive, so they go, oh, you have an hearing problem. Now, I don't like it when people call it an hearing problem. For me, it's not a problem.
So yeah, uh, deaf. If you say deaf directly, some people might think that's rude. You should say hearing problem, but he doesn't like you like direct.
Yeah,
You're
it's not a
deaf.
problem.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're a little bit behind in the questions. If you guys are still waiting, I'm sorry. And Layla, how should we deal with deaf people?
Lala, first of all, you should be approachable because
You should be approachable.
because deaf people can find it very difficult to go up to an hearing person if they want some help. So if you are open to them, then that makes things easy for them.
Hamza says you have six senses.
That you answer.
How do deaf people learn to read and write?
Um, well, normally deaf people will learn sign language first and then learn to read and write after.
So they learn sign language first.
So they have a base.
That's their first language, and then English. Again, it's very different. Ajit, what ordinary thing you noticed in India?
Well, at it, what ordinary for you might not be ordinary for me. For example, walking in the streets, I saw cows everywhere.
Cows everywhere.
That's ordinary for you, but for me, I found it very interesting.
Abdullah Hussein, I have met someone who couldn't see and couldn't hear. So it was impossible to communicate. How can we communicate with someone who cannot see, cannot hear?
Yes,
I think they need touch more. You have to communicate through
yes,
touch.
there is something called the step plan manual. So it's a form of sign language that you do entirely by touch.
Touching sign language with touch. So you would have to learn the sign. Is it the same sign language?
No,
Why not? Because everywhere. So this
well,
is localized.
think about it. Sign language, the sign language that I speak, it depends on visual perception, but step blind people cannot see, so you cannot do that.
But if the deaf blind person is using sign language, we can understand him
Yes,
without
yes,
or her without touch.
yes.
But they learn
To
another.
speak to them, you have to touch them.
Grace, what part of South Korea have you visited?
I have been all over the country.
He's traveled everywhere in Korea, South Korea, and North Korea.
Yes,
He's traveled at more than you, Grace.
I won't be able to tell you the names of the places in South Korea I've been to, and the reason for that is I haven't heard how the names are pronounced, so I cannot say them. So it's quite difficult for me to say names.
Yeah, so he's Yeah, you have to understand when he's traveling South Korea, he's reading, or any country, he's reading the local names of cities, places, but he has no idea how to pronounce them, right? Because he's never heard someone say, for example, in Korea, Gangnam. He's never heard someone say Gangnam. So have you been to
That way,
Gangnam?
I have been there.
All right, and how would you say Gangnam?
Kind of.
Yeah, so he does a good job.
Robin had to say that, and I picked it up from him.
So he picks it up from my lips. Are
And
you watching
hearing you.
and hearing? Describe Ajit. Describe your first class experience.
Um, I'm supposed to act it in Turkey about airline travel.
Oh, say that again.
My first class.
First class. Oh no, he's
Uh,
making a joke. He's
what is
talking about
that?
first class in uh, the airplane. Your
I
first
like like,
classroom.
uh,
Okay, maybe
okay. I'm rather very fat. Okay.
first class. Yeah,
Well,
Ajit, first class. He thought that meant first class in the airplane. You have first class, but you should say first classroom experience.
yeah. Okay. Well, I want to step still. So they were still around me.
Wait, how old were you?
Uh, 3 or 4. I
So you went to
started early.
kindergarten, like kindergarten,
Hmm.
kindergarten.
We don't use that word.
All right. So you went there. You're surrounded by deaf students.
Yeah. So still one were the same at me.
Okay.
And we were taught and sign language and everything went well. Um, I like to be in school rather than with my family because in school I went with people who were the same as me.
So yeah, he preferred to be in school with other deaf kids, not with his family, because the deaf kids were similar to him. His family were not. Okay, we're gonna jump ahead here. There's maybe too many questions, guys. So we're gonna have to start skipping some questions that repeat. I'm sorry. Uh, Ajit, what is something you really like but no good reason disliking?
Um,
I'm not sure I understand that, Ajit.
well, I can answer it this way. I like pizza
You like
and
pizza?
I don't think anyone can say a bad thing about pizza.
Yeah, everyone likes pizza. Mahaya, Mahani. He is very enthusiastic. Yes.
I am, yes.
Hazel can. Bravo. All right. All right. We're gonna jump ahead. Uh, Layla, do deaf people have to take foreign languages in school?
Um, it depends on the school, what the curriculum is. Some schools say you have to, other schools keep them as theirs, so it's up to them, the children, if they want to do it or not, may have learned languages and bring wonderful experiences, so I think they should learn other languages.
So he thinks they should, but it's optional. But remember, Stefan is different because he likes to travel alone. He's very independent. Uh, so he has traveled so many parts of the world that he's picked up Spanish and other languages here and there. So he's not the normal deaf person. Uh, yeah, lolly lolly. Every country has its own sign language. Hussein, you just asked question. He is 100% deaf. I'm gonna move up the answers. Thomas, Singing in the shower. Okay. Layla, what's the best way to teach English second language in deaf education?
Um,
Wow, good question.
well, Layla, that's a very complicated question, and I am not an actual teacher, so
So
I
he's not
don't
an
know.
actual teacher.
So I don't know what the methodology is, but I know there is a lot of theory about what's the best way to teach English or any language to deaf children, but I don't know.
Well, I haven't worked with deaf children, but I would try to start teaching them very similar reading, lots of reading, writing, make sure they are fluent in English in the brain. All right. And Vishnu, is he totally deaf? He is deaf. He is reading my lips.
I should clarify, if someone is totally deaf, that means he's stone deaf, so the idiot will not help him.
So he has hearing aids to help hear noises, but if someone cannot, sometimes the hearing aids don't work, we call that person stone deaf. Layla, what's the difficulties face prelingual deaf children who are learning? Wow, you got big questions today, Layla.
Bilingual means prefer to acquire a language, and again, that's a complicated question that I'm not sure I can answer properly, but I think for anybody, you have to learn a language first before you can learn anything else, so it can be difficult without language.
Stefan, it's a sign of a rock. Is that rock?
Not that, well,
Rock?
well, no, I
Vishnu.
don't know where this you are from, but maybe in your country that your son,
You don't know where Vishnu's from?
an
I'm gonna
Indian,
guess.
an
Uh,
Indian person will not necessarily be in India. I'm from England, and we have a lot of Indian people in England.
well, I'm gonna guess Vishnu Kumar is from India. Maybe he's in another country. I think that the three fingers is hair for satanic. No.
No, that's not true. No.
Ah, okay. So the I love you. How
Uh,
how how would you say I love you?
well, in my sign language, it must be I love you,
Mm-hmm.
but the international version is that it's universal, so it's the same. Nobody says it in order, they don't do that.
Grace, when you were learning to speak by therapists, did you also learn intonation of speaking? Wow.
Quite, yes. When you have speech therapy, they cover everything.
Everything. Finally, are you married?
No. And I'm happy that way.
Does deaf quality qualify for disability?
Um, that question is very interesting because it's very controversial. Um, that people see themselves as independent, so even though the ears are not working, so it is disability of the ears that people don't like to be called disabled. They don't like that at all.
What about you?
Well,
If I say Stefan is disabled,
well, I'm not militant. I can accept that my ears don't work, but I'm at a point of say I'm independent.
yeah, okay. But uh, so do you consider disabled a bad word
For a lot of deaf people, it is taboo.
for you?
For me, no, no.
Okay. And Layla, does being deaf affect learning or not?
Yeah, it depends on the environment. Like me, I'm under a school for deaf children, so the environment is optimized for learning. But if you have a deaf child alone in an eerie environment, then the deafness will cause problems for that child to learn.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to speed up. Uh, is the word deaf is not impolite,
Yeah,
right? It's
it's
just.
okay to say.
And Devika, sir, I'm doing as teacher for special needs children. I teach that all categories deaf people can manage all things other than good people, or the same as good people. Yes, deaf people, he's the same.
Yes,
He is not disabled.
there is a very famous quote, and that is that people can do anything except hear.
Deaf people can do anything except hear. Do deaf students study in public school?
Um, it depends on the country and the education system, but also the word public or private school means different things in different countries. So I don't know how to answer that question.
The public school in England is private school.
Yeah, it's North America and England have it the other way around.
Yeah, so public school in North America, yeah, the government school. I went to public school. In England, it's called private school. So do deaf students study in private school?
Um, that is typical in England, but I don't know about other countries.
So okay, hello. Sleepwalker, Stephen and Robin, I see you are good friends. How do you usually spend your free time except traveling? We drink some beer sometimes. We just talk.
Yeah, and have fun new words of annoy him.
Yeah, he annoys me. I think I annoy him more. Today we went out to in Korea. We went to Namsan Tower. If you know that in Korea, we had a good day. And Vishnu, how the dumb communicate?
Well,
Why is he using dumb?
um, first of all, I want to say that the word dumb is rejected by most deaf people nowadays.
So listen, dumb people or deaf people don't like to be called dumb.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that you will actually find a deaf person who cannot make any sound. Most deaf people can make a sound, so it's not right to call them dumb.
Yeah. So maybe we shouldn't use that word anymore.
Yeah,
What is your hobby except reading, traveling?
okay, so earlier we already talked about the beer that I drink.
Beer.
Yeah, it's not the drinking itself, but the different types of beer. So I'm not learning about that and simply different beers, writing about them. Also I love aeroplanes. What you call a plane spotter. So I like looking at planes and
Airplanes. He
yeah,
likes airplanes. He loves airplanes. Uh, Looking at airplanes, flying in airplanes, thinking about airplanes. He likes airplanes. I don't know. Beer and airplanes. That's his life. And we're gonna. Sorry, Layla. We're gonna have to skip ahead. Russian guy, 1997. I'm deaf. I don't think you're deaf. How can you hear us? Are you reading our lips? Prakar. Hello, Prakar. Welcome. Hi, Stefan. How do you deal with criticism, bad feedback?
um,
Hey,
proper,
you're stupid. You're deaf.
yeah, it has happened before. and I think it's always important to have strong inner strength and be able to stand up to people and show people that sadness is not what they think.
All right. So yeah, show people that they're not dumb. They're smart. They're normal people. How many languages do you know?
Um, well, from the I'm fluent in French and sign language, but I know about maybe 5 more languages to some degree.
Do hearing impaired students study in regular classroom?
Um, it does happen, but in my opinion, it's not ideal because the environment is not optimized for their learning.
Yeah, the classroom he said is not optimized for their learning. It's maybe not the best place for their learning. Syed Hussein, before you sleep, you keep ear machine aside. Then how do you wake up in the morning?
Um, I said earlier that when I take them out, I hear nothing, so nothing can wake me up. But if I wanted to wake up, I've got a special alarm clock that I can set which will vibrate to wake me up, and I'll put it under my pillow. So
Put the vibrating.
alarm clock.
What about your phone?
Well, I still use an
All
alarm
right,
clock.
he used a vibrating alarm clock. Put it under the pillow. He don't he don't hear, but talk skills so good. Yes, he's fluent in English, and he cannot hear. And Vishnu, we said earlier we met in North Korea about 5 years ago. Can you do other countries' sign languages?
Yeah, I know some American sign language,
Some American sign language,
especially the alphabet.
the alphabet.
Yeah,
All right. So, can you just quickly, what's ABC in England?
A, B, C,
What's ABC in USA?
A, B, D. What's very interesting is that people speak English in England and America, but the sign language is very different. In England, we use two hands, but in the US, we only use one hand.
In England, they use two hands for sign language, and in the U.S., uh, sorry, U.S. is
One hand.
one hand for sign
Yeah.
language. All right. What is your advice for the parents who have deaf children?
Um,
Good
the
question.
yeah, the most important thing is to take the children to what you might call a social worker. The social worker will know all of the options that are available.
But some countries don't have social worker.
Then, the problem is that every parents will know what to do, so they need the information that
So
critical.
parents must educate
Yes.
themselves as much as possible. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta skip ahead. I'm Korean. I didn't know. I don't speak English very well. How did you do that? You are a deaf child. He's very diligent.
Um, it took me 14 years to
Four,
learn to speak English, but maybe for you it will be a lot less. I cannot imagine it takes 14 years to learn a new language, so you'll be okay.
14 years. Yeah, Vishnu Kumar. I'm from India.
Nice to meet you.
Free foods. When are you going to do next live stream? I do live streams you can see on the up there, Sunday and Wednesday. This is Wednesday, same time every week. Stefan is not here next week. All right. So Grace left. God bless you, Stefan.
Thank you.
A role model. Namsan, it's nearby my home. Grace, if you're still watching, I'm sure you will meet Stefan. And Layla, yes. Devika, Sri Lanka has government schools for deaf and blind children. That's
Very
good.
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 Very good.
Hats off to you, sir. Hope you have a wonderful life. Could you please tell me what's your favorite place? From Magna M, welcome. What's your favorite place?
Okay. That is a question I'm asked all of the time, and it's a question that I actually don't like to answer. And the reason for that is all of the countries I've been to are very, very different, so it's very difficult to compare them. Like, what will be my favorite country in terms of what? Maybe if you ask me about the food, then I say Italy. I like Italian food.
If you ask about, wait, so hold on. Remember, their first language is not English.
So,
So he's speaking very fast. So just make sure everyone understands. Similar to me, it's very difficult to answer that question. But he says if you ask about food, he would say Italy. So if you're more specific, uh, but actually for me, North Korea was the most interesting.
I have to agree.
Most interesting was North Korea. It's not the most beautiful. It's not the most fun. It's the most interesting. Uh, so where do you think I should travel next?
Um, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Vishnu, I'm really sorry for all my rude behavior. Don't worry about it. Ajit, what do you do when you are angry?
When I'm angry, I react in the same way as everybody else. Simple answer.
All right, thank you. I think we're going to end the live stream very soon. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Um, what's the future? We'll go to Layla's question. What's the future for you?
I'm hoping to travel a lot more and eventually settle down in a different country and live there. I don't want to live in England once all of the time.
He's going to settle down, travel more, and then settle down in another country. So that's his dream. And Sleepwalker, who is your next guest? I think you, Sleepwalker, please come to Korea. I don't know who my next guest. All right, thank you, David S. He's my hero, and I think you guys learning English should be a role model because he had so many obstacles in front of him. The biggest obstacle, cannot hear a language. He didn't care. He read books, he studied, he went to the speech therapist, he practiced, he traveled around the world alone. Nobody helped him. He can do it. He's very independent. What are you guys doing with your English? You know, you should be studying, and you can get what I hope you can get as much as Stefan, or I hope you can achieve as in language acquisition as much as Stefan did. Thank you guys. We will see you. I will see you next Sunday. I'll do a lesson, grammar lesson, and Stefan, he's still staying with me a couple more weeks. Any last words?
To keep up learning English, keep going at it and be fluent. It's always good to learn another language quickly.
Keep learning English. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.